channel. For this video, I'm going to be reading a bunch of poems from this big book of poetry that I have. It's called Better Than Gold. So, a little backstory on how I got this book, why I have it. So, pretty much, a few years ago, it could have been about 4 years ago by now maybe, I went to a Renaissance fair, and at this Renaissance fair, there was a stand or booth, whatever you want to call it, which was basically just like a mini library full of books they were selling. And all the books were super cheap too, like just a couple bucks, $1 or $2. And at the time, when I went to this Renaissance fair, I had recently taken a creative writing class, and in that class, we did things like write poetry, write short stories, creative writing. And so at the time, I was really into poetry. I had written my fair share, and I really enjoyed it. So when I found this book of poems at the Renaissance fair, I decided to buy it. And I also thought it looked really nice. Just, nice brown cover. It's got this rope thing going on. I thought it was just a nice book, and it was really cheap. It was literally like $1, so yeah, I bought this book, and I have not read all of the poems in this book. I've read a good amount of them, but not all of them, and I thought it would be a great video idea for me to go through and read some of these poems for you. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully you enjoy them. Make sure you comment down below and tell me which poem was your favorite, or maybe you could make a list of like your top 5. I'm not sure how many we're gonna read in total, because there are really long ones, there's really short ones, medium-sized ones, whatever. But I'm gonna be reading you some poetry. Hopefully you enjoy this book as much as I have. Even if you're not really a poetry person, or you don't read a lot or anything like that, I feel like everyone can enjoy a good poem. Just, they can always kind of affect anybody, depending on the contents, So, the very first poem matches the title of the book. It is Better Than Gold by Abram Joseph Ryan. So, let's get started. Better than grandeur, better than gold, than rank and titles 1,000-fold, is a healthy body and a mind at ease, and simple pleasures that always please. A heart that can feel for another's woe, and share his joys with a genial glow, with sympathies large enough to enfold all men as brothers, is better than gold. Better than gold is a conscience clear, though toiling for bread in a humble sphere, doubly blessed with content and health, untried by the lusts and cares of wealth. Lowly living and lofty thought, adorn and ennoble a poor man's God, for mind and morals in nature's plan are the genuine tests of an earnest man. Better than gold is a peaceful home, where all the fireside characters come, the shrine of love, the heaven of life, hallowed by mother or sister or wife. However humble the home may be, or tried with sorrow by heaven's decree, the blessings that never were bought or sold, and center there, are better than gold. So, if you enjoyed that one, feel free to snap your fingers, like they do at the poetry readings in the cafes and everything. I don't know if they actually do that, but that's what they show on TV, so. next poem, we have Advice by Edwin Markham. Stand straight, step firmly, throw your weight. The heaven is high above your head, and the good gray road is faithful to your tread. Be strong, sing to your heart a battle song. Though hidden foemen lie in wait, something is in you that you can smile at fate. Press through, nothing can harm if you are true. And when the night comes, rest, the earth is friendly as a mother's breast. A little bit shorter, but still very good. Let's find the next one. For the next poem, we have The Most Vital Thing by Grenville Kleiser. Grenville Kleiser. When you feel like saying something that you know you will regret, or keenly feel an insult not quite easy to forget, that's the time to curb resentment and maintain a mental peace. For when your mind is tranquil, all your ill thoughts simply cease. It is easy to be angry when defrauded or defied, to be peeved and disappointed if your wishes are denied. But to win a worthwhile battle over selfishness and spite, you must learn to keep strict silence, though you know you're in the right. So keep your mental balance when confronted by a foe, be it enemy in ambush or some danger that you know. If you are poised and tranquil when all around is strife, be assured that you have mastered the vital thing in life. Wow, that one was really good. I think that one should have been called advice. That was filled with a lot of emotional maturity advice, you know. I think that was my favorite one so far. That was The Most Vital Thing by Grenville Kleiser. That was my favorite one so far for sure. Maybe we'll find some better ones in here though. Next up is Before It Is Too Late by Frank Herbert Sweet, sorry. If you have a tender message or a loving word to say, do not wait till you forget it, but whisper it today. He knows we were making an ASMR video. The tender word unspoken, the letter never sent, the long forgotten messages, the wealth of love unspent. For though these some hearts are breaking, for these some loved ones wait, so show them that you care for them before it is too late. Another poem with some great life advice. Tell the people you love them that you love them. Next we have Are You Feeling Blue by John Dale Kempster. If you wake in the morning and feel a bit blue, and wondering whatever's the matter with you, don't go on a grouch the rest of the day and make other people the penalty pay. Just try to suppress it and put on a grin, and no one will know what has happened within. Speak a kind word, yeah, do a good deed, and others your actions will certainly heed. 'Twas long ago said, but today it is true. As you measure to others, it is meted to you. It's interesting. I don't know if I agree with the bottle it up approach to you having a bad day, but yeah, John does, so. Next poem. What is Glory? What is Fame? By William Motherwell. What is glory? What is fame? The echo of a long-lost name, a breath, an idle hour's brief talk, the shadow of an errant knot, a flower that blossoms for a day, dying next morrow. A stream that hurries on its way, singing of sorrow. The last drop of a bootless shower, shed on a sere and leafless bower. A rose stuck in a dead man's breast. This is the world's fame at the best. Alright, next up we have a pretty long one. It's about as long as the first one I read, so. It's called An Inspiration by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. However the battle is ended, though proudly the victor comes, with fluttering flags and prancing nags and echoing roll of drums, still truth proclaims this motto, in letters of living light, no question is ever settled, until it is settled right. Through the heel of the strong oppressor may grind the weak to dust, and the voice of fame with one acclaim may call him great and just. Let those who applaud take warning, and keep this motto in sight, no question is ever settled, until it is settled right. Let those who have failed take courage, though the enemy seems to have won. Though his ranks are strong, if he be in the wrong, the battle is not yet done. For as sure as the morning follows the darkest hour of the night, no question is ever settled until it is settled right. O man bowed down with labor, O woman young yet old, O heart oppressed in the toiler's breast and crushed by the power of gold, keep on with your weary battle against triumphant might. No question is ever settled until it is settled right. That was a really good one. That was An Inspiration by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. That one was really good. Really like that one. Okay. Next we have Living by Edgar A. Guest. If through the years we're not to do much finer deeds than we have done, if we must merely wander through time's garden idling in the sun, if there is nothing big ahead, why do we fear to join the dead? Unless tomorrow means that we shall do some needed service here, that tasks are waiting for you and me that will be lost save we appear, then why this dreadful thought of sorrow, that we may never see tomorrow? If all our finest deeds are done, and all our splendors in the past, if there's no battle to be won, what matter if today's our last? If life so sweet that we would live, though nothing back to life we give, it is not greatness to have clung to life through 80 fruitless years. The man who dies in action young deserves our praises and cheers, who ventures all for one great deed, and gives his life to serve life's need. That was kind of I feel like that's like a pessimistic kind of poem about life, saying that we shouldn't praise people for just living to 80 and contributing nothing. We should praise the people that died young and, affected the world, I guess. I don't really agree with that. I think as long as you live a happy and fulfilling life, I think that's fine. If you enjoy what you're doing, I think that's all that matters. Making memories and being happy. So I wouldn't listen to Edgar A. Guest too much, but he wrote a decent poem, so good job, Edgar. Speak gently. It is better far to rule by love than fear. Speak gently. Let no harsh word mar the good we may do here. Speak gently to the little child. Its love be sure to gain. Teach it in accents soft and mild. It may not long remain. Speak gently to the young, for they will have enough to bear. Pass through this life as best they may. 'Tis full of anxious care. Speak gently to the aged one. Grieve not the careworn heart, whose sands of life are merely run. Let such in peace depart. Speak gently, kindly to the poor. Let no harsh tone be heard. They have enough they must endure, without an unkind word. Speak gently to the erring. Know they must have toiled in vain. Perchance unkindness made them so. Oh, win them back again. Speak gently, love doth whisper. Lo, the hearts that true hearts blind. I don't understand that line. And gently friendship's accents flow, affection's voice is kind. Speak gently, 'tis a little thing, dropped in the heart's deep well. The good, the joy that it may bring, eternity shall tell. Very, very well written. Next up we have Will by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Again, she also wrote an inspiration. So, here's Will. There is no chance, no destiny, no fate can circumvent or hinder or control the firm resolve of a determined soul. Gifts count for nothing. Will alone is great. All things give way before it, soon or late. What obstacle can stay the mighty force of the sea-seeking river in its course, or cause the ascending orb of day to wait? Each well-born soul must win what it deserves. Let the fool prate of luck. The fortunate is he whose earnest purpose never swerves, whose slightest action or inaction serves the one great aim. Why, even death stands still, and waits an hour sometimes for such a will. It's pretty good. Talking about how willpower, overcomes all. She's had 10 out of 10 poems so far, so. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Very good poems. I don't know, I couldn't remember the word poet for some reason. I was trying to think of the word for somebody that writes poetry. I was gonna say she's a very good poet, so, yeah. Next up we have The Power of Little Things by Frances Ridley Havergal. The memory of a kindly word for long gone by, the fragrance of a fading flower sent lovingly, the gleaming of a sudden smile or sudden tear, the warm pressure of the hand, the tone of cheer, the note that only hears a verse from God's own word. Such tiny things we hardly count at ministry, the givers deeming they have shown scant sympathy, but when the heart is overwrought, oh, who can tell the power of such tiny things to make it well? I don't really understand that poem. I think it's saying that it's the small things that count, I guess. Let me know if you have any thoughts or interpretations about these poems that I'm missing. I'd be more than happy to talk about them with you guys. Next up we have Take Time to Live by Thomas Curtis Clark. Take time to live. The world has much to give, of faith and hope and love, of faith that life is good, that human brotherhood shall no illusion prove, of hope that future years shall bring the best, in spite of those whose darkened sight would stir our doubts and fears, of love that makes of life, with all its griefs, a song, a friend of conquered wrong, a symphony of strife. Take time to live, nor to vain mammon give your fruitful years. Take time to live, the world has so much to give, of sweet content of joy, a duty bravely done, of hope that every sun shall bring a more fair employ. Take time to live, for life has much to give, despite the cynic's sneer, that's all forever wrong. There's much that calls for song. To fate lend not your ear. Take time to live. This world has much to give. A lot of these poems are very inspiring, telling you to get out there and live life and make memories. Very wholesome. Okay. Next up we have The Tone of Voice by... It doesn't say. I don't know. Yeah, it's just an anonymous poem, I guess. It's not so much what you say as the manner in which you say it. It's not so much the language you use as the tone in which you convey it. Come here, I sharply said, and the child cowered and wept. Come here, I said. He looked and smiled, and straight to my lap he crept. Words may be mild and fair, and the tone may pierce like a dart. Words may be soft as the summer air, but the tone may break my heart. For words come from the mind, grow by study and art, but tone leaps from the inner self, revealing the state of the heart. Whether you know it or not, whether you mean or care, gentleness, kindness, love and hate, envy, anger are there. Then, would you quarrels avoid, and peace and love rejoice? Keep anger not only out of your words, keep it out of your voice. Wow. So, I'm telling you, these are full of, great pieces of advice. Man, maybe this is better than gold, I don't know. I think a lot of people need to read these and really listen to what they're saying and learn from them. Next up we have On a File by John Kendrick Bangs. If an unkind word appears, file the thing away. If some novelty it jeers, file the thing away. If some clever little bit of a sharp and pointed wit, carrying a sting with it, file the thing away. If some bit of gossip come, file the thing away. Scandalously spicy crumb, file the thing away. If suspicious comes to you that your neighbor isn't true, let them tell you what to do, file the thing away. Do this for a little while, then go out and burn the file. So I guess that poem's talking about just don't take things to heart, file it away, and then at the end it said do this for a little while, then go out and burn the file. I like that. It's a good way to end it. Just file everything away and then just burn it all and just forget it, leave it behind. I think that's a great piece of advice. Next up, we have a few really short ones. And this first one doesn't have an author, but it's called Seasonable Living. So, the wisest men you ever knew have never dreamed it treason to rest a bit and jest a bit and balance up their reason, to laugh a bit and chaff a bit and joke a bit in season. Another poem about just living life, laughing, resting. It's pretty wholesome. Next up, another Ella Wheeler Wilcox poem. This one is called True Brotherhood. God, what a world, if men in street and mart felt that same kinship of the human heart, which makes them, in the face of fire and flood, rise to the meaning of true brotherhood. Very short one compared to her other ones, but still good, I'd say. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Next up, this one has an author. It's by Isaac Watts, but it does not have a title. I'll not willingly offend, nor be easily offended. What's amiss I'll strive to mend, and endure what can't be mended. Very short. This next one does not have a title or an author. Take yesterday's worries and sort them all out, and you'll wonder whatever you worried about. Look back at the cares that once furrowed your brow. I fancy you'll smile at most of them now. They seemed terrible then, but they really were not. For once out of the woods, all the fears are forgot. Next up is a poem called Age by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Ah, nothing is too late till the tired heart shall cease to palpitate. Cato learned Greek at 80. Sophocles wrote his grand Oedipus, and Simonides, I don't know how to pronounce that, bore off the prize of verse from his compeers when each had numbered more than 80 years. Chaucer at Woodstock with the nightingales, at 60 wrote the Canterbury Tales. Gady at Weimar, toiling to the last, completed Faust when 80 years were past. For age is an opportunity no less than youth itself, though in another dress. And as the evening twilight fades away, the sky is filled with stars, invisible by day. That was Age by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. That was really good. I'd say that was my second favorite one so far. Definitely in my top 3. It's just, like I said, like I've been saying this whole video, these poems are just full of amazing advice. Don was just talking about how it's never too late. A lot of people always think they're too old to start building something, start working towards something, and it's never true. I heard that Morgan Freeman didn't start acting until he was like 70 or something. So, and everybody knows Morgan Freeman, so there you go, it's a perfect example. He's a household name. And at the end it said something like, the stars, when night rolls around, there's stars that weren't even visible during the day. So I feel like that's saying that, when it may seem like you missed all of the opportunity during the day, like when you were younger you didn't do things, so you missed all these opportunities. But now that it's nighttime, now that you're older, there's opportunities that you didn't even know about before. So, basically saying there's always time for you to do something that you want to do. I like that message a lot. Next up, we have another poem about age. This is called To Age by Walter Savage Landor. Welcome, old friend. These many years here we live door by door. The fates have laid aside their shears, perhaps for some few more. I was indocile at an age when better boys were taught, but thou at length hast made me sage, if I am sage in aught. Little I know from other men, do little they do from me, but thou hast pointed well the pen that writes these lines to thee. Thanks for expelling fear and hope. One vial the other vain, one scourge the other's telescope, I shall not see again. Rather what lies before my feet, my notice shall engage. He who hath braved youth's dizzy beat, dreads not the frost of age. So that one was like a message to age itself. Next up we have Sonnet by Aubrey de Vere. Sad is our youth, for it is ever going, crumbling away beneath our very feet. Sad is our life, for onward it is flowing, and currents unperceived because so fleet. Sad are our hopes, for they were sweet in sowing, but tares self-sown have overtopped the wheat. Sad are our joys, for they were sweet in blowing, and still, oh still, their dying breath in sweet. And sweet is youth, although it hath bereft us of that which made our childhood sweeter and still. And sweet is middle life, for it hath left us a nearer good to cure an older ill. And sweet are all things when we learn to prize them, not for their sake, but his who grants them or denies them. So, it looks like this book is like divided up into sections, right? And I guess this is the age section. So, next up, this poem does not have a title or an author. Age is a quality of mind. If you've left your dreams behind, if hope is cold, if you no longer look ahead, if your ambitious fires are dead, then you are old. I like that one. No author or title, but saying that being old is like a mindset, I guess. Next up is a very long one, and it does not have a title or an author. Yes, I am old. My strength declines, and wrinkles tell the touch of time. Yet might I fancy these the signs not of decay, but manhood's prime. For all within is young and glowing, spite of old age's outward showing. Yes, I am old, the ball, the song, the turf, the gun, no more allure. I shun the gay and gilded throng. Yes, ah, how far more sweet the pure. Home's tranquil joys and mental treasures than dissipation's proudest pleasures. Yes, I am old, ambition's call, fame, wealth, distinction's keen pursuit, that once could charm and cheat me all, are now detective, passive, mute. Thank God the passions and their riot are bartered for content and quiet. Yes, I am old, but as I press the value of years with willing feet, still do I find life's sorrows less, and all its hallowed joys more sweet. Since time for every rose piece he snatches takes 50 thorns with all their scratches, my wife, God bless her, is as dear as when I plighted first my troth. I feel in every child's career the joys of renovated youth, and as to nature I behold her with fresh delight as I grow older. Yes, I am old, and death hath ta'en full many a friend to memory dear. Yet when I die, 'twill soothe the pain of quitting my survivors here. To think how all will be delighted when you're in the skies again united. Yes, I am old, experience now, that best of guides, bathe me in sage, and thus instructed I avow my firm conviction that old age, of all our variations, various terms of living, deserves the warmest, best thanksgiving. It was pretty good. Give a lot of insight into how it feels to grow old, I guess. If anyone was wondering how it feels, there you go. This next poem is also a very long one, and it does not have a title, but it was written by Edgar A. Guest, so here's another one of Edgar's poems. I used to think that growing old was reckoned just in years, but who can name the very date when weariness appears? I find no stated time when man, obedient to a law, must settle in an easy chair and from the world withdraw. Old age is rather curious, or so it seems to me. I know old men at 40 and young men at 73. I'm done with counting life by years or temples turning gray. No man is old who wakes with joy to greet another day. No man is old. Oh, I just read that line, sorry. What if the body cannot dance with youth's elastic spring? There's many a which the mind can cling. 'Tis in the spirit age must dwell, or this would never be. I know old men at 40 and young men at 73. Some men keep all their friendships warm and welcome friendships new. They have no time to sit and mourn the things they used to do. This changing world they greet with joy and never bow to fate. On every fresh adventure they set out with hearts elate. From chilling fear and a bitter dread they keep their spirits free. While some seem old at 40, they stay young at 73. So much to do, so much to learn, so much in which to share. With twinkling eyes and minds alert, some brave both time and care. And this I've learned from other men, that only they are old, who think with something that is past, the tale of life is told. For age is not alone of time, or we should never see men old and bent at 40, and men young at 73. I feel like all the poems on that page pretty much had the same, except for a couple of them. They all mostly had the similar message of age doesn't really matter, it's about, at least in this context, they're talking about age and how you let it affect you, like mentally, I guess. All those were pretty much saying, like, you can still be happy and you can still do the things you want to, even when you're 73, like that last one was saying. It's just all about how you approach it, I guess, and what you think about it, what your mental state is when you're that old. Of course, some people are unfortunate and they're limited by diseases and whatnot, but I guess they're trying to say you should try to find the positives and focus on those when you get older. This next poem about age is called The Flight of Youth by Richard Henry Stoddard. There are gains for all our losses. There are balms for all our pain. But when youth, the dream, departs, it takes something from our hearts, and it never comes again. We are stronger, we are better, under manhood's sterner reign. Still we feel that something sweet followed youth with flying feet, and will never come again. Something beautiful has vanished, and we sigh for it in vain. We behold it everywhere, in the earth and in the air, but it never comes again. This next one doesn't have a title, but it was written by Ralph W. Emerson. I'm assuming that's Ralph Waldo Emerson. As the beard trims her to the gale, I trim myself to the storm of time. I man the rudder, reef the sail, obey the voice at eve, obeyed at prime. Loyal, faithful, banish fear, ride onward, drive unharmed. The port, well worth the cruise, is near, and every wave is charmed. That one's like really well written. I feel like I would have to read it a few times to kind of understand it. That's how you know if it's a good poem, I guess. This next one is going to be the final poem of this video. It's a pretty long one, so it's called On Growing Old by John Masefield. Be with me, beauty, for the fire is dying. My dog and I are old, too old for roving. Man whose young passion sets the spindrift flying is soon too lame to march, too cold for loving. I take the book and gather to the fire, turning old yellow leaves minute by minute. The clock ticks to my heart. A withered wire moves a thin ghost of music in the spinet. I cannot sail your seas, I cannot wander your cornland, nor your hillland, nor your valleys, ever again, nor share the battle yonder, where the young knight, the broken squadron rallies. Only stay quiet, while my mind remembers the beauty of fire from the beauty of embers. Beauty have pity, for the strong have power, the rich their wealth, the beautiful their grace. Summer of man, its sunlight and its flower, springtime of man, all April in a face. Only as in the jostling in the Strand, where the mob thrust or loiters or is loud. The beggar with the saucer in his hand asks only a penny from the passing crowd. So from this glittering world, with all its fashion, its fire and play of men, its stir and march, let me have wisdom, beauty, wisdom and passion. Bread to the soul, rain where the summers march. Give me but these, and though the darkness close, even the might will blossom as the rose. So, hope you enjoyed those poems. Like I said in the beginning of the video, feel free to talk about them with me. Let me know which one was your favorite. You know, if you found them interesting, let me know if you liked this video at all. If I should do it again. You know, it's as you can see, it's a relatively thick book, and I only read about, I don't know, couldn't be more than 6 pages of poems, so yeah, there's a lot of content here. That was the end of the age section, and the next section was called arts, so that would be what the next section would be about if I was to do a part 2 of this video. So if you want to hear the arts poems, let me know, because like I said, I enjoy poetry, I enjoy reading these, and I wouldn't mind making another one if you guys wanted it. So, hope you enjoyed this video, hope you found it relaxing or it helped you get to sleep, and that's all. Good night.